What happens when you try to put a worry aside? Do you feel calmer or more anxious, like the uncertainty itself is unbearable? Have you noticed how often you turn to Google, a loved one, or even your own mental replay of events to feel certain, only to find the relief doesn't last? Welcome to Quieting Anxiety by Excel at Life. I'm Dr. Monica Frank, and in today's episode, we're going to take a look at something many people with anxiety struggle with: reassurance seeking, and how to reduce it through a behavioral technique known as structured worry time. But first, let's take a few deep breaths to center yourself before we begin. Let's begin by checking in with your body. Take a slow breath in and let it out slowly. Once more, inhale and exhale. Now bring your attention to your upper body, the place where we often carry the tension of worry. Notice your forehead. Allow it to smooth out and soften. Now your jaw. Let it relax. Let your neck and shoulders gently release their grip. You don't need to hold so tightly right now. As you breathe, ask yourself, can I allow this moment to be free from worry, even just for now? Imagine that you have a safe container, a box you trust. It's strong, it's secure, it's yours. And just for the duration of this episode, you can place your worries inside that box. You don't have to discard them. You can come back to them later if needed. But for now, gently place them in the box and close the lid. Breathe again. Inhale ease. Exhale tension. And let's begin by defining reassurance seeking, something many people with anxiety do without even realizing it. Reassurance seeking is any behavior meant to reduce anxiety by asking for certainty or safety, whether from other people or yourself. You might ask loved ones, "Are you sure I'll be okay?" Or you might look things up repeatedly online for confirmation. Or replay conversations in your head to see if you said something wrong. Or rehearse or review plans over and over to avoid mistakes. These strategies can feel like they help in the short term, but in the long term, they actually reinforce the anxiety. That's because they send the message to your brain: this worry is dangerous. I need to resolve it immediately. I can't handle uncertainty. And here's something that may surprise you. Worrying is often a distraction from deeper anxiety. That may sound odd. Most chronic worriers say, worrying causes my anxiety. But I'd suggest the opposite. The anxiety is already present, and the worry provides a mental focus, a way of trying to explain or control that anxiety. At the heart of chronic worry lies a struggle with uncertainty. For many people with anxiety, uncertainty feels intolerable. The mind constantly asks, what if? What will happen? How can I know for sure? These questions drive reassurance seeking. The repeated checking, asking, Googling, or reviewing past events in search of certainty. But here's the difficult truth. Certainty is an illusion. Life is filled with unpredictability, and no amount of thinking or reassurance can eliminate all risk. In fact, the more you try to find certainty, the more your brain becomes addicted to seeking certainty rather than tolerating uncertainty. This can create a cycle in which anxiety increases, not because something is wrong, but because you haven't developed confidence in your ability to handle the unknown. Sometimes chronic worriers often feel relieved when they worry because it creates an illusion of control, which then leads to increased anxiety over time and more worrying. And not only that, but reassurance seeking with others can create relationship problems due to others becoming annoyed with the constant questions or need for reassurance. Structured worry time is a powerful way to begin training your brain to let go of that false promise of certainty. Instead of reacting to every worry as if it needs immediate attention, you begin to build a new skill, delaying the urge to resolve uncertainty. You tell your mind, I hear the worry, but I'm not engaging with it right now. This is not suppression, it's containment. You can choose to face uncertainty in a structured and measured way, which is why structured worry time is considered a form of exposure. Over time, this builds what we call uncertainty tolerance, the ability to feel discomfort without immediately acting to relieve it. This is one of the most important skills in long-term anxiety management. So how do we begin to confront this intolerance of uncertainty? One way is with a method called structured worry time. This exposure method helps break that cycle, not by ignoring the worry, but by setting limits around it. Structured worry time is a CBT technique specifically designed for chronic worriers, those who feel like they're worrying all the time and can't stop, even though the worry seems unproductive. This method is actually a form of behavioral exposure, because when done correctly, it initially increases anxiety as you begin to tolerate not resolving every worry immediately. For chronic worriers, worrying becomes a coping mechanism. It's unpleasant, but it feels more manageable than the free-floating unease of not knowing, of uncertainty. So when you reduce the worrying, your anxiety may temporarily increase, which is exactly why this technique is considered an exposure. So how does structured worry time work? The idea is simple, but don't let that fool you. Structured worry time takes practice and commitment. Here's how it works. First, set a daily worry time. Choose a specific time each day when you allow yourself to fully focus on your worries. This can be 15 to 30 minutes, depending on your needs. Don't make the worry time too close to your bedtime, as this is a common time for people to worry, which then interferes with sleep. Once you have a set time, postpone your worries throughout the day. When worries arise, instead of engaging with them, you tell yourself, I'll save this for my worry time. If that's not enough to let it go, write it down. This step is key. You're training your brain that not every worry is urgent. Then during your worry time, worry intentionally. When it's time, pull out your list and allow yourself to fully engage with the worries. Strangely enough, some people find they have trouble worrying on command. That's okay, and even expected. It may be because the worry doesn't feel as important anymore, or because worrying on purpose feels unnatural. Still, stick with it. Finally, end your worry time with calming techniques. Once your time is up, use grounding, deep breathing, or relaxation techniques to bring your anxiety level back down. You can also do some cognitive restructuring of the worries, challenging the thinking behind them. For some people who engage in frequent reassurance seeking with a specific person, you may engage that person with your worry time, with their consent. In this situation, whenever you ask that person for reassurance throughout the day, they are instructed to say, "Save that for your worry time and we will discuss it. You may need to use your coping skills right now." It is especially important to stick to the time schedule, even if you don't feel satisfied at the end of the worry time. The goal is to gradually shorten your worry time. Over time, you can reduce the length of your worry time until you no longer feel the need for it. Think of it like this: you're teaching your brain that you don't need to engage with worry as a way to manage anxiety. Why is structured worry time considered an exposure? As you may recall, the purpose of exposure is to increase anxiety and learn to tolerate it so it will decrease over time. When you put your worries away until your structured worry time, you are exposing yourself to uncertainty by not addressing worries immediately and confronting the urge to seek reassurance. As a result, you are learning to tolerate the discomfort of uncertainty and developing the understanding that you can survive without immediate answers. Initially, this feels harder, not easier. But over time, it decreases reassurance-seeking behaviors and increases your tolerance for anxiety and uncertainty. And like all exposures, structured worry time is most effective when you track your progress by using the anxiety rating scale that you created in the last episode, before and after the exposure. In addition, it is important to plan time to use grounding or relaxation exercises afterward to reduce residual anxiety. You may also find you need to use cognitive, mindfulness, or relaxation techniques throughout the day, because putting your worry away until the structured time is likely to increase your anxiety. Your goal is to learn to tolerate at least an anxiety level of 5 to 7 for a certain amount of time, to be determined in consultation with your therapist. Your question today is to consider whether structured worry time is a skill worth practicing for you. Do you struggle with chronic worry or find yourself constantly seeking reassurance? If so, your task is to develop a plan with a therapist trained in CBT exposure techniques to gradually increase your ability to tolerate uncertainty by not seeking reassurance to reduce worries, and instead learn to live with not having certainty. You can also use the Worry Box audio provided by Excel at Life to help you put your worries away. Eventually, as you listen to this audio, you will learn to be able to put the worries away without having to listen to the audio. And if you're using the Quieting Anxiety app, you can use the cognitive diary after your worry time to challenge and reframe the worries you've written down. Setting your worries aside until your structured worry time will feel uncomfortable at first, but that's what makes it a powerful exposure method. You're not pushing the worry away, you're giving it boundaries, and that gives you more control, not over the events you worry about, but over how you respond to the worry and stop it from controlling you. Now that we've explored structured worry time and the cycle of reassurance seeking, let's take a moment to settle the mind. Take a slow breath in and exhale fully. Bring your attention back to your worry box, the one you visualized earlier. Open it briefly in your mind. If any new worries have surfaced during this episode, gently place them inside. Label them if you wish. This one is important, but I can't do anything about it right now. Or, this one is unimportant and not worth my energy. Or, this one can wait. I'll come back to it when I choose to act. Now close the box and lock it. Feel the sense of containment and security. Your mind is giving itself permission to rest. You can come back to it when you're ready. Relax your shoulders again. Soften your jaw. Let your neck smooth out and relax. And breathe. You've taken a step toward retraining your brain, building confidence in your ability to choose when and how to respond to anxiety. You don't have to worry right now. You can let it go. You're learning to relate to anxiety in a new way. You're building awareness. One breath, one thought, one skill at a time. Until next time, keep practicing, keep breathing, and keep moving forward.